What's going on, traders? My name is Paul and welcome back to the channel. We are back with another live trading session using one of my favorite 1-minute binary option trading strategies, which every time we talk about this strategy, we always get a lot of positive feedback from our viewers who have tested it for themselves. And this particular strategy we'll be going over today delivered a 100% win rate for this session. What you'll be seeing in today's video is going to show you why this is a personal favorite strategy of mine for trading the binary option markets that allows you to capitalize profits quickly, but more importantly, this 1-minute strategy is not only easy to use, but it's also effective. We're going to share with you our live trading footage, we'll break down the trades, review the results, and also share with you the rules that we need to follow for this strategy. That way you can see how simple it is to execute and possibly apply this to your trading. If you enjoyed today's video and gain any value, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out all of our trading resources down below in the video description. And as always, if this is a strategy you decide to test out for yourself, we would love to hear from you. Share with us your feedback by commenting down below and let us know how it worked for you. But without further ado, let's hop on the charts and let's get started with today's video. So if you have any questions as we go through this video, feel free to comment down below. You can also reach me directly anytime, access all my contact information down below in the video description. And as a friendly reminder, whether you want to test out this strategy or any new trading methods, practice on a demo account. We have links to free $50,000 demo accounts, which you can access down below. First position of the session was for Euro USD. We took a 1-minute sell because prices hit the upper level of our Bollinger Bands, and we also had overbought conditions of our stochastics. Unfortunately, price continued to push upward towards a higher level of resistance, so we took a second position. As this trade progressed, our first position closed in profit. However, our second position closed in a tie. Now, when it comes to a tie trade, you don't win any money, but you don't lose any money either. You just simply get your initial trade value back. So off to start with this session, we have 1 win and 1 tie. Next trade for EuroCAD, we took another 1-minute sell because prices hit the upper level of our Bollinger Bands and we have overbought conditions of our stochastics. But more importantly, when we look to the left, we noticed price was tapping into a level of resistance, which also served as support here and here. So given the fact that this is a key level from a higher time frame, we anticipated price to drop, and as you can see, this was a profitable 1-minute sell. Now, if any of this sounds confusing, don't worry guys, because I want to break down everything for you to show you how simple this strategy is. Now, in this next position for GBP CAD, this is actually one of the reasons why I like this strategy, because not only can you place your buys and your sells based off of the bounces of the upper and lower level of the Bollinger Bands, but you can also use the mid level of the Bollinger Bands as a form of support and resistance. So in this scenario for GBP CAD, we're in an uptrend, prices creating higher highs, and prices now testing that mid level of the Bollinger Bands, and you can see that our stochastics are headed in oversold territory. But another thing you'll notice is there's a gap between the last two candlesticks. Gaps need to be filled, so given the structure that we were seeing, we entered for a 1-minute buy, and as you can see, the gap was filled, which resulted in a profitable trade. A few minutes later, we took another buy position for GBP CAD. Price had hit the lower level of our Bollinger Bands and we had oversold conditions of our stochastics, but based off of the structure where price is still creating higher highs and higher lows, not only was this a trend continuation trade, but at the time that price hit the lower level of our Bollinger Bands, price was also testing a previous level of resistance from the previous higher high, resulted in another profitable 1-minute buy. Coming back to GBP CHF, we have a major support level here from the 1-hour time frame. So I marked this level and we went back down to our 1-minute time frame for our trade entry, and we can see prices hugging the lower level of our Bollinger Bands and our stochastics are completely oversold. But we're not taking the trade yet because we want to see if price is going to tap into this level of support. We're waiting, we're not rushing into the trade, and as soon as price tapped into that level of support, we entered for a 1-minute buy. So because this is a major level of support from a higher time frame and we were patient for our entry, this was a prime entry where we entered at the wick rejection of this candle, resulting in a profitable 1-minute buy, which closed deep in the money for a 60-second profit. Last but not least, we took a 1-minute sell for EuroCAD because price had tapped into the upper level of our Bollinger Bands. Our stochastics headed into overbought territory, but in addition to the sell signal provided by the indicators, which of course we're going to teach you in a few moments, we also had a bearish divergence between the structure of the markets creating higher highs and the structure of our stochastics creating lower highs. This bearish divergence further confirmed that there was going to be selling pressure, so we took that 1-minute sell, and as you can see, this closed in profit. So as you saw from the live trading footage, we actually didn't lose a single trade. No losses were sustained, which means we had a perfect 100% win ratio for this session. If we take a look here at the results, actually these trades are from a different session, which we're going to be covering in our next video, so stay tuned for that. But we can see here some of the trades from that session. But if we come here to our trade histories under our live account, we can get a better reading of the trading data, which again confirms no losses were sustained. We did have that tie trade from our second position for Euro USD, which again, you don't win any money, but you also don't lose any money either. You just get your initial value back. But if we look here at the trade data, total of 7 trades were taken, 100% profitability with no sustained losses, resulted in a $5,000 profit. And just in case if you were wondering how long this session took, based off the timestamps from the first trade entry to our last trade entry, this session took about 20 minutes. So let's go over the setup and the rules of this strategy so that way you can back test this for yourself and see if you want to apply this to your trading. I personally like to trade this strategy on a 30-second time frame. That means that every candlestick you see here represents a 30-second time period of price data. However, I like to target 1-minute expirations for my trade entries. So again, 30-second time frame, 1-minute expirations for our trades. Now we're going to use a couple of indicators to help us identify our buy and sell signals. So if you come to the indicators tab, you're going to select Bollinger Bands and Stochastics. The settings of the Stochastics are going to be customized to 5, 3, and 3, and the Bollinger Bands are also going to be customized to a period of 20 and a deviation of 2. Now here's where the simplicity of this strategy comes into play. We use the upper and lower level of the Bollinger Bands to help us identify potential buy and sell trades, but we use these stochastics and its overbought and oversold levels to help us confirm those buy and sell entries. For instance, if you're looking for sell trades, you want price to hit the upper level of the Bollinger Bands, but before you enter the trade, you want to ensure that your stochastics are overbought with crossover and downward momentum. Once you have these two confirmations from the indicators, you enter for a 1-minute sell. Based off of those basic parameters, we had multiple sell trade opportunities, which would have resulted in profitable trades. But if you're looking for buy trades, we want price to hit the lower level of the Bollinger Bands, and we want our stochastics to be oversold with crossover and upward momentum. When you have these two confirmations from the indicators, you enter for a 1-minute buy. Now, as I showed you from the live trading footage, not only do we use the upper and lower level of the Bollinger Band for our buys and sells, but the mid-level of the Bollinger Band can also be used as a form of support and resistance for additional buy and sell trade entries. This is going to come in handy when you're in a strong trending market. Here we can see the structure of the market is bullish, price is creating higher highs and higher lows, and you're looking for buy trades. Price isn't always going to hit the lower level of the Bollinger Bands. In most cases, it's going to hit the mid-level as we see in these regions. If price hits the mid-level of the Bollinger Band and your stochastics starts to cross over with upward momentum, these are valid trade entries for a 1-minute buy, as you see here, here, and here. The same applies if you're in a strong trending market where price is headed down. If you're looking for sell trades, price isn't always going to hit the upper level of the Bollinger Bands. This is where the mid-level of the Bollinger Band comes into play to use as a form of resistance to identify these pivot points. Here we can see price wicked off of the mid-level of the Bollinger Bands, and at the same time, our stochastics started to cross over with downward momentum. This would have been a valid sell signal for 1 minute, and we have multiple examples in this region that would have also resulted in profitable sell trades. Now we're not done yet because there's going to be a few other things I want to share with you that will help you use this strategy to the fullest extent to improve your trade entries and of course your overall win rate. But just based off of these very basic rules that we went over, it is extremely simple, and it's these very concepts that we use that allow us to capitalize a perfect session with no losses, which gave us a return of just over $5,000 in a matter of 20 minutes. This strategy can be used in both trending markets and consolidated markets. Obviously in today's video, I showed you how I use this strategy on a 30-second time frame, but it can be used on a 1-minute time frame or even a 5-minute time frame as well. This is something we've covered in past videos, so just keep in mind that if you want to use this on a 1-minute time frame, target 2 to 3 minute expirations. If you use this on a 5-minute time frame, target 10 to 15 minute expirations. And yes, not only can this be used during live markets, it can be used during OTC, and it can also be applied to Forex trading as well. Now, a couple of things to take note of when using this strategy, and this is really important to help you identify better trading positions. First and foremost, place trades according to the trend that you're in. If you're in a buyer's market, only look for buy trades. If you're in a seller's market, only look for sell trades. Now, while the Bollinger Bands and the stochastics can be great indicators for identifying your buys and sell entries, aside from the indicators, what other levels is price reacting from? Is there support? Is there resistance? Is it a trend continuation trade? Are there any bearish or bullish patterns at the time that you're getting the signals from the indicators? Prime example, here we have a sell signal, price hit the upper level of our Bollinger Bands. We also have overbought conditions conditions of our stochastics. But if we zoom out, we can see that this is tapping into a previous level of resistance that also served as support in this region. In addition to this resistance, I also see a bearish divergence where the structure of the market is completely opposite from our stochastics. All the more reason to take this 1 minute sell. And speaking about divergence, which of course is something that we explained in the last trading position of our session, we also had a bearish divergence here and here as well, which occurred as a result of hitting the upper level of the Bollinger Bands, further solidifying sell trade entries. Why do we take this buy trade? Well, it's also testing this level of support, which as you can see, as soon as price tapped into this level, rejected to the upside. Why did that happen? Because this very level also served as resistance here and support here. So it's no wonder when we got the buy signal from our Bollinger Bands and our stochastics, price shot up, which would have resulted in a beautiful 1 minute buy entry. So the point I'm just trying to make here, folks, is finding other levels of confluences in addition to what the indicators are telling you are going to not only greatly improve your overall win rates, but it'll also help prevent you from taking trades provided by false signals. This is a strategy I've been using for years, and because I've stuck to it and I mastered it, it's become one of my favorites, which is one of the reasons why I enjoy sharing this strategy with you guys. It's fast, it's simple, and it's effective. So if you want to try out this strategy for yourself, make sure you backtest it thoroughly. And just in case if you need them, we have access to free $50,000 demo accounts, which you can use at any time, all of which are accessible in the video description. All right, traders, that concludes our video for today. Again, if you have any questions, reach out anytime. Don't forget to check out our trading resources down below in the video description. I want to thank each and every single one of you for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you enjoyed it, gained some value. And of course, if you want to check out some of our other recent uploads, you can check out any of these videos. And I look forward to seeing you on the next time. Take care.